Hello everybody, this is the iPhone channel here. Over here is a flip phone. Yes, a flip phone in 2024. This only costed me $20. And over here is the TCL Flip 3, which is actually on track phone. I actually bought it at Walmart, just like the HMD Vibe. So why not, I'm actually going to do an unboxing to see what a flip phone is like. I'm not even joking. This is a flip phone here. Yes, and it is not even a smartphone. It actually runs KaiOS, which is actually a feature phone OS. So why not? Let's go over it, shall we? So this phone does support LTE, and it actually sports a 1.77 inch information display with a 3.2 inch display. Yes, a 3.2 inch display, which is about the same as many of the smartphones from like the early 2010s and late 2000s. I'm not even joking. And this phone also has a 5 megapixel camera and video recorder, as well as 480p video recording. And it has an 1850 milliamp hour battery with 10 hours of talk time, 16 gigs of memory, and it is Wi-Fi calling capable. So why not? Let's unbox it, because this is quite dope. Essentially, you do have a flip phone, which is not even a smartphone, with smartphone specs from the early 2010s, which is kind of amazing. This phone is actually even better equipped than many smartphones from like 12 or 13 years ago. So over here, I'm actually gonna peel this out. Oh my goodness, sorry. I might need a knife for this. Okay guys, it did cut the top out, and why not? I'm actually going to open it here, yes. Let's see the true glory of this phone. Unfortunately, prepaid phone boxes are kind of hard to actually unbox. And here it is, a flip phone. And it does seem quite big, to be honest. Unfortunately, I do not have any iPhones to actually compare it to, because I'm currently at another house now. But over here is the flip phone in its true glory. Jesus. How can it be so hard to actually open? But why not? Here it is. Yes, a removable battery. And over here is where the battery and the casing actually is. So why not? I'm actually going to open this and let's open it here. Why not? My goodness, I've not seen a phone with a removable battery in at least like 9 or 10 years. And here it is. So why not? I'm actually going to plug the battery into here. Actually here. And over here is the casing. Yes, and there's also a power brick. And this is actually the cable here. And this is actually USB-A. And I believe this is actually USB-C. Yes, USB-C on a flip phone. I'm not even joking, which is kind of insane, to be honest. But over here is actually the casing. So I'm actually going to peel it out. I'm actually going to put the casing in here. And yes, I fully assembled the flip phone. So why not? I'm actually going to flip it for the first time and press and hold to actually power on. And yes, this is actually TCL powered by KaiOS. So I'm actually going to set it up and I'm going to see you guys soon. Okay guys, over here is the phone. Now it is currently nighttime, but as you can see over there is the battery indicator, and over here is actually the notifications. And let me flip it up. And over here is actually the home screen. There's no lock screen, unfortunately, as this is a flip phone and this is actually the 3.2 inch in its glory. Unfortunately, it is also no touchscreen as well. So you have to use these keypads over here. So why not? I'm actually going to the menu, and over here where you're going to see your apps and stuff, and there's actually a store. I'm not even joking, and I will show you guys where some apps are and what they are. And over here some apps, yes, some games and stuff, quite a rudimentary games, and even education. You even have social media here, and games, utilities. Unfortunately, I could not really find Facebook or Twitter, known as X, or even Instagram anymore. But you do have some like rudimentary apps here. This is no Play Store or anything. This is kind of more rudimentary. And to actually exit, just press the hang up button like this. And to hold, then you would actually power off or restart. So why not? I'm just gonna flip. And over here is actually the phone app. And this is notifications over here and contacts. And actually pressing this would actually mean phone. Yep, just like normal. Unfortunately, I'm not going to call 611 or anything, but let me show you guys some YouTube on this. So you have some Google apps as well, such as Google itself, as well as Maps here, and even YouTube. But due to the fact that there is no QWERTY keyboard, and in fact, they're actually numeric keys, unfortunately, the email and of course the messaging app would be very unintuitive. And I do believe many people are not going to email a message because it would actually take at least 5 or even 10 minutes to even write an email of any sort. So why not? I'm actually going to try YouTube over here. And as you can see, this is how the cursor moves, like 1 or 2 pixels or something. Kind of pathetic.
I reviewed for $20, which is actually, you guessed it, the Blu View 5. Okay guys, so I bought this phone at Walmart for $30. As you can see,
over there is a speaker. And if you want to see the video again, let me show you guys.
Down there, yes, $30, I'm not even joking. And it is also 64 gigs as well. And unfortunately, to qualify for this $30,
okay guys, let me show you guys how the keyboard actually works. So why not? I'm actually going to type in my city. So Cambridge, like this. Press the OK to actually input a character. And A here, OK. And M, and OK. And B, OK. And over here is actually Cambridge. So to actually delete a character, actually press the back button like this. And to actually change between uppercase and lowercase, press the bottom right button over here. You could actually also change between numerical as well. So why not? I'm actually going to choose my city here. And as you can see, this is actually my city. So press this for directions and details, of course, which is quite rudimentary. And actually down here is where you'll find the space bar. So why not? I'll show you guys in action. Okay guys, it just got Canton in, so over here is the space, as you can see, like this. And you actually do have special characters over here, such as the @ symbol, the $ symbol plus, as well as the % and exclamation symbols. I'm sorry if I'm showing you guys a location in Costa Rica. I'm actually going to protect my location here, because this is actually in a secretive part of Worcester. And over here is Cali Blancos and the weather, as you can see, in Fahrenheit. So you can actually do some basic tasks here. And here's the camera, what it actually looks like. So quite rudimentary in fact, but you get the gist of this phone. You do have a recorder as well as the settings. And in the settings, let me show you guys the software. So over here's the battery percentage. And you even have iOS account. I'm not even joking. Which is kind of surprising. But unfortunately it does not seem to have any like... Oh, okay guys. About iOS. Unfortunately it's quite basic. I could not even see the version. I'm not even sure where it even is. But this is about it. But let me show you guys how much storage this phone actually has. So just go into settings. And actually storage. This phone actually has 16 gigs of internal storage. Yes, about the same as many of the older iPhones from 2015 and earlier. The base storage. And over here is how much media is actually used. 2.2 megabytes. And fun fact, this phone also has 1 gigabyte of RAM, which is the same as a 10-year-old iPhone, the 6 and 6 Plus. This could also be used as an MP3 player as well, just like I show you guys with the YouTube. And the speaker could be quite loud. I actually put it in max volume. And the fun fact is, you actually do have expandable storage up to ½ TB. And over here is where the headphone jack actually is, the 3.5mm headphone jack. And of course, like many flip phones, this is actually plastic over here. Over here is also plastic, and this is also plastic, yes. And I do believe the screen is also plastic, but I'm not too sure if it's plastic or glass. I cannot really tell. But it is plastic throughout, and of course there's a removable battery, just like you've seen in the beginning of the video. And as for the battery, this phone has an 1850 mAh battery, which even though it is quite low in today's standards, in fact this is actually a flip phone, so it is not very power intensive. You really need to only do a few tasks in this, so the battery will be quite spectacular. As this is 1850 mAh, which is actually better than many of the older iPhones, and nearly on the same level as the iPhone SE3. Which that actually has a 2018 mAh battery, yes. So this phone could technically have better battery life due to the fact it is not very power intensive. But over here is the battery in full glory. And most of the clientele, because they're going to be geriatrics, like at least 80 years old from the silent gen or even the greatest gen. Therefore, they don't really care much about battery, like in terms of like apps and stuff. What they do care about is phone calls and stuff, talk time, and this phone does have around 10 hours of talk time. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any water resistance of any kind. I'm not sure if there is, but I do not believe so. But this phone does have a nano SIM. As you can see, this is actually the SIM tray over here, and over here is the micro SD card slot. And let me put in the battery once again to show you guys the startup sounds. There's actually startup sound here, and as you can see, this is enabled by KaiOS. I'm not sure what the max nitage is, but I do believe the max brightness is somewhere in the several hundred nits, just like that of the HMD Vibe. But let's see. Quite dope, to be honest, for the startup sound. And as for processing power, this phone does have a Qualcomm QM215 64-bit quad-core 1.3 GHz CPU with an Adreno 308 GPU and 1 GB of RAM. Yes, a 64-bit CPU on a flip phone. Smartphones from like the early 2010s have like 32-bit CPUs. And this is quite impressive for being 64-bit. And it also supports Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN, which is actually Wi-Fi 4, as well as Bluetooth 4.2. So quite decent stuff on this flip phone, but the clientele would not actually care, because in fact, most of the clientele, even if it has smart features, are going to be old people. Because many young people under the age of 80 will be buying smartphones. In fact, my parents are in like their mid-70s, my father is in his mid-70s, and my mother in her mid-60s, and they still use smartphones. But why not? Let's go to the camera, shall we? Because this camera is actually a 5 megapixel camera. It also has LED flash as well. So it could actually facilitate in terms of night shots and stuff. But don't expect this camera to be good. Expect it to be quite basic. And there's also video recording, even though this is actually 480p VGA recording, I do believe so. So why not? I'm actually going to show you guys some of the pictures and stuff. And unfortunately, there's no selfie camera. Okay guys, over here is actually the video sample of the KaiOS TCL Flip 3, and over here is what the video looks like. Yes, a flip phone video test. Okay guys, here's the conclusion. This flip phone is quite usable in 2024, even though it might seem ridiculous, as many millennials and even Gen Z and stuff actually do have smartphones, and they would actually look down on people who use flip phones. I'm not even joking. But this is actually quite a good throwback of a review, to be honest. I'm just going to review this more for fun, but I do believe the clientele is going to be somebody who's at least 80 years old, so born in 1945 or before, actually the silent or even greatest gen, and maybe some baby boomers who are not really tech savvy, born before 1955, but in reality, I do believe many baby boomers actually use smartphones. And even though this flip phone is quite minimalistic, in fact, it is not minimalistic enough for many minimalists. because many minimalists would only want like calling features and stuff to like detox from smartphones, and this actually does have YouTube and even the internet, as well as even the App Store, so it could actually be a distraction for many younger audience who are actually looking to detox from smartphones and the detrimental effects of social media, because you can actually still use the internet even on this phone, albeit it is going to be unintuitive and cumbersome, especially with the keypad and the lack of touchscreen. So here's a summary. I do believe this is quite okay for like gaming, like browsing, and even calls and music, as the speaker is quite loud. But for $20, this is quite a decent value, especially for a flip phone, as I don't really expect much. I would expect maybe some bento lunch or something, or even like a meal from like a chain restaurant, like an American restaurant like Applebee's or TGI would essentially be $20 after tip. So thank you guys for watching this throwback review. Please give a big thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'm gonna see you guys soon.